Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. My name is FPL Meerkat and today I've got my Game Week 33 team selection for you guys. But before I get into that, let's have a look at how the team did in Game Week 32. Now, it was a green arrow. It was a green arrow of 20k places, which is actually quite nice to be honest. A nice decent chunk of a green arrow. But it was quite a frustrating game week for me, weirdly enough. I got 67 points in the end. But as you can see on the bench there, it could have been quite a lot more. My benching dilemma really came down to the deadline. And yeah, let's just break it down. So the first one was Ivan Toney got benched for Brentford, which was incredibly frustrating. He apparently was picking up, he had a little bit of a knock. So yeah, obviously we didn't know this before the deadline. He just appeared to be on the bench for Brentford, and they went and scored 3 goals without him. They looked really good without him, which does worry me a little bit. And then he came off the bench and yeah, just got 1 solitary point. And him coming off the bench meant that I didn't get Morris's 8-pointer scoring the winner against Bournemouth. Now, that was really frustrating. I was always going to play Toney over Morris. I didn't really think about playing Morris. But if I knew that Toney had a little bit of a knock, I probably would have started Morris over Toney. So that's cost me 7 points there. And as you can see, Reguilon on the bench with 9. Away to Aston Villa getting a 9-pointer. Again, I wasn't really thinking about playing him. He's last on my bench, really. I did not think about playing him at all. But he's not got a single return for me since I've played him. I think he's got a net -2 in starts for me. And yeah, a haul on the bench was really frustrating. To make matters worse as well, Robinson, who I was probably going to start him over if I was to start him over anyone, lost his clean sheet really late on. A VAR check in the Newcastle game, which he wiped out the clean sheet and then it got reinstated because the goal got ruled out. And then he lost it anyway. So I got my hopes up for absolutely nothing. And yeah, so that was a bit of a frustrating time, especially in the defence there. But at least, you got Neto with the 4-pointer there. Again, his clean sheet got wiped out late, but he made a few saves, so I was okay with that. Gabriel getting a clean sheet, nice 6-pointer there. Arsenal doing what they normally do. But obviously the highlight of the week was Kai Havertz getting 14 points. I thought I'd made a mistake getting Havertz rather than Foden. Foden ended up getting benched this game week, and I got Havertz 14-pointer, which is really, really nice. Over the 2 game weeks that I've made the move, Havertz has got 19 points, Foden's got 20. So that move hasn't actually gone as badly as I thought it had. But yeah, Havertz doing bits for me there, and I'm really excited to keep him for the double game week. I think he's going to continue to start in that Arsenal side. I think he might also start the majority of games in the striker position. He seems to have nailed down that spot over Jesus. Jesus seems to be preferred to the wing at the moment. So I think Havertz will continue to play at the 9. Hopefully he gets 3 starts for me over the next 2 game weeks at the number 9. But I think he'll start all 3 games regardless. I think he might get some early subs because of the Champions League. But yeah, I'm confident in Havertz minutes. Palmer with the captaincy was a bit disappointing, only having 5 points, double to 10. I obviously talked a lot about how Palmer's got a double-digit haul every single time he's played a newly promoted team. The last one of the season he'll get, and yeah, he failed me on that. So that was a bit of a loss there. But to be honest, it was either him or Salah, and I only lost out on 3 points there. Son was another popular captaincy pick, 5 points, and Haaland another popular captaincy pick, 8 points. So I didn't really lose too much there on the captaincy, not too hung up on that one. Saka getting a 10-pointer was really nice because I know a lot of people have sold him this game week. I don't know if you'll be looking to buy him back either. If you're free hitting in 34, I don't see any reason why you'd be buying Saka back. But if you're not free hitting 34, then yeah, I definitely think Saka is a must in the team. Arguably the best captaincy pick as well in the double game week too. Darwin getting assist was nice. I really hope for more from Darwin, to be honest, in that game. But it was nice to get a return from him. Salah obviously scoring that penalty. He was rubbish. He was absolutely appalling in that game. Getting an 8-pointer feels like an absolute robbery. I definitely feel like I've made the right captaincy call with Palmer. But yeah, Palmer didn't get a penalty. Salah did. That's all the difference. That's what the difference is, depending on who gets the penalty. So you can't really, get too hung up about making a wrong decision there. It's all dependent on who gets the penalties. So yeah, 67 points, a nice green arrow there. It could have been a much, much higher green arrow though, which is why I'm a bit disappointed. But yeah, we definitely take the 20k green arrow there, just outside the top 200k now. The aim still to try and get in the top 100k. It's going to be difficult because I only have a bench boost left. I don't have a free hit or a wild card. So yeah, let's have a look at the Game Week 33 team. I've currently got the armband on Salah. I did roll the transfer, by the way, in Game Week 32. I didn't make any transfers at all. So I have 2 free transfers to use with 4.9 million in the bank. Salah's currently got the armband because, as you can see there, I have 0 Man City players for a home fixture against Luton, which could put me in very dire consequences. To be honest, my transfer plans revolve entirely off of the early team news that we get for Man City. If we hear that Haaland is starting, I'm going to find it very difficult to not do Tony up to Haaland. That does leave me 1.3 million short, so I would probably have to sell Son to afford it. Now, the issue with that is that I want to get Son back after Game Week 34 anyway, for his doubles coming up. So I am tempted to just go without Haaland. I would really like some confirmation that Haaland isn't starting so that I can get away with that. Obviously, the other people I've looked at is De Bruyne and Foden. Now, again, we've got a lot of injury news to wait upon tomorrow. I'm recording this on Thursday, and obviously we'll hear all the press conference news on Friday. We'll get a lot more of an indication. There's quite a few players who are maybes and ones that I'm wanting to bring in. Foden's one of them. Saka is another, is a bit of a maybe. Reguilon apparently picked up a little bit of an injury. He came off early in the Brentford game. I'd really like to start Reguilon with the home fixture against Sheffield United. It sounds so good on paper, but knowing Reguilon, he'll probably find a way to disappoint me. I'm not too happy about... So I'm happy about starting Gabriel, home fixture for Arsenal. Seem to be amazingly good in defence this season. But Robinson away to West Ham, Udogie away to Newcastle, and Doughty away to Man City. Now, I don't really like the sound of any of those. I do have that 2 free transfers. The number one pick on my mind is Van Dijk. I've got a Liverpool slot open still. I've got 2 attackers. I don't think I'm going to get a third because it's now been announced that Jota is back in training. So there's going to be a lot of rotation between that front 5, I will say. I think it's more of a front 4 now because Gakpo is definitively second choice. He's always going to be on the bench. So I think Jota will start to take minutes away from Darwin and Diaz. I'm going to keep Darwin because I just need him for this game week and the double, and then he's definitely going to be moved on to either one of Haaland or Isak is the other one on my mind. Now, I have the exact money to do Doughty to Van Dijk and Morris, who's on the bench, to Isak. Now, that would give me a little bit of a benching headache, but it would give me a much stronger team in Game Week 37, having Isak for the double. I currently only have 3 players doubling in Game Week 37, and that's the game week I'm planning on using my bench boost. So I'm now considering a potential bench boost in 35, because there's a lot of teams with very good fixtures that game week, and of course, Chelsea and Spurs have their double. So I might load up on the Spurs and Chelsea guys to get 5 is the aim, but maybe 5 or 6 of them. And get the Newcastle players in as well, because they've got a home fixture to Sheffield United. And then my bench will be fairly good. I might have Reguilon to, I think, Everton in that game week. I'll have a new goalkeeper. I'll probably have 2 new goalkeepers by that point, to be honest. But can't actually recall who Neto's got in that game week. But yeah, I have considered a potential bench boost in 35. But yeah, it's very dependent on what the Man City news is. I don't really want to go too much into the Man City just because there's still a bit of a rotation risk. I'd rather leave the Man City transfers as late as possible for game week 37. I definitely want at least 2 for that game week, and we'll have a much better understanding of what the minutes are going to look like. So if I've transferred in someone like Foden and then he's going to definitely be benched on one of the games, I can avoid that. Potentially pick up someone like Rodri. Genuinely, I think he's a good pick. He's had 5 double-digit hauls in the last 10 game weeks at home. So I think he's genuinely quite a good pick. a bit of a sleeper pick because he's going to get those minutes, and Man City are a totally different team without him. So he's that important, but I think he will continue to play the games. He is rumoured to be rested, though, against Luton at the weekend, though. So that'll be interesting. In terms of the captaincy, if I get news that Haaland is starting, I'm going to find it very difficult not to bring him in and give him the armband, just because we saw what he did against Luton in the Cup. I can easily just see that happening again, to be honest. Salah currently has the armband. If I don't get in Haaland, it will probably be Salah. I have considered Palmer. Tony's got the vice captain, but to be honest, I'm not even too happy about having Tony in the team. I know he's got Sheffield United at home. I will keep him for this game week, as long as Haaland isn't starting. He is pretty much my route to Haaland. It doesn't feel nice getting rid of a striker who's playing Sheffield United at home. Let me know if you think that's a bit of a mistake to get in Haaland. I think he's probably the one player that you could make an exception for selling a striker at home to Sheffield United. I'm a little bit worried about him. I'd honestly prefer some news that Tony's injured, so then I can just make the move anyway. Or I can get in Isak. He's definitely the one that I'm considering as well. Haaland and Isak for the double game week. And yeah, Morris has obviously just sat on the bench there. I would want to move him on at some point. Mateta is the other one I'm looking at. Not this game week because he's away to Liverpool, but I think his double is really good. Really suits the striker as well. Those two fixtures, home to West Ham and home to Newcastle, who've both conceded about 40% of their goals from strikers. So I think Mateta's a really good pick for the double. I might be looking at him in the near future. Quickly moving on to the mini league team of the game week, we have Gabinski, the team here, with 87 points, which was a mega score here, massively helped by Kevin De Bruyne. The massive differential, honestly, really good. What's the word I'm looking for? Amazing, the patience of this guy to keep Kevin De Bruyne in the team. Captain Haaland, Havertz as well, the differential, really nice. Dubravka, the double up actually on Newcastle defence, but Dubravka with 9 points. Really, really nice. A massive score there of 87. And I believe that Zviardi here is actually one of the top managers in the leaderboard. So as you can see here, he's now joint second, along with Marianne there, with 2 gold medals. Jared's still at the top there with 3, but this does put him in a little bit of danger that there are now 2 managers that if they get a gold medal, if they win one of the game weeks, they will go ahead of him. So yeah, very interesting there. But yeah, that was pretty much all in terms of the movement in the team of the game week leaderboard. Of course, we've only got 6 game weeks, 33, 34, 35, 6 game weeks left. So yeah, not too much time for things to turn around, but that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Please leave a like and get subscribed to the channel if you are enjoying this content over here. I wish you all a green arrow this game week, and I'll see you in the next FPL video.